my name is Emily Osborne, and I serve as the budget coordinator for the Center for Student Engagement. For this training, I'll go over how to communicate with vendors. And so when it comes to vendor communication, this is an important step within the event planning process. One thing that I want to highlight is that you all are ambassadors of Loyola University. When you contact these vendors, you are representing Loyola. And so what happens is if there is not clear and constant communication with these vendors, it leaves them in this little liminal limbo. And what that does is that could actually mess up their income because what they do is they will hold a time slot for you and then hold up resources or staffing. And if an event is not funded, does not have approved funding, or if the event is not approved and this was not communicated to the vendor, it has many ramifications. One of those ramifications is it leaves a bad reputation on Loyola because it's showing that Loyola students are not communicating with these vendors, it might not be as conscientious. You and I both know this is not true. Loyola students are wonderful and very caring, but the message that we show to our community partners is very important. One thing also is with this constant communication, it is very important to please email the vendor immediately if funding has been approved and if funding has been denied. This is important because once again, if we don't let the vendors know we have money and confirm your date with them and your appointment with them, then one, you might not get their services, and two, you're leaving them in limbo. Next is if purchases are made without approved funding, and if a vendor shows up on campus expecting to provide a service, of course they need to get paid. So what happens is that student organization is responsible for paying back that vendor. And that could potentially lead to the student organization being responsible for $1,000 plus invoice. And we don't want that to occur. And so please make sure to keep talking with your vendor to make sure they know that the event is confirmed and that the event has money so they can get paid. In order to do that, the first step is to know the difference between a quote and an invoice. Our vendors might think an invoice is confirming a service or it is booking for the event. Invoices let the vendors know that, yes, I'm confirming this event, I have money, let's pay for it. Instead of that, when you are going through the budget request process and all of the different funding cycles, please ask the vendors for a quote instead of an invoice. A quote tells the vendor that you are in the exploration stage of the event and you are looking at potential other vendors and you're just trying to get estimates in order to come up with a good budget. When you have your approved funding and you are ready to do a purchase request, that is when you want to ask for an invoice. Invoices are only used when you are ready to pay the vendors. And so, with that in mind, please keep these tips in mind. We definitely want to keep working with our vendors. If we leave like a bad taste in the mouths or what have you. We might have less vendors to choose from, which means there's less options for purchasing. And also, we want to let them know how great of students you are. And we want to show Loyola in the best light possible because it has amazing students. So once again, please remember to always communicate with your vendor. They should know everything about the event day of, and they should know who the contact people are and that they're getting paid. So thank you so much for listening.